In this edition of the DCUO's how-to guide, I'm going to show you guys how to utilize your quantum powers in controller role. I am the baddest mofo Loadout in gaming, Sho'Nuff. Just be sure to hit the subscribe button onto this channel so that way you can stay in the know on the content that's being uploaded here. Now I want to talk to you guys real quick. Well, it's not going to necessarily be real quick. I'm just going to elaborate with you guys on how to utilize your troll role with quantum. All right, now we're going to start off with our powers. This is something that I call your default iconic powers. You're going to pick these up first. Now you're going to utilize intimidating gaze, and you're going to acquire wisdom of Solomon. Again, you're going to acquire intimidating gaze and wisdom of Solomon. Now for time, you're going to pretty much pick up everything from this tree with the exception of the superchargers. And for those that that don't know, Tachyon Burst is going to be your default power you're going to pick up. Then you're going to go from left, time shift, anomaly, warp barrage. In the middle, temporal extortion, quantum tunneling, and time bubble. Over to the right, time bomb, tachyon blast, distortion wave. In the space tree, of course, gravitonic field is going to be the default power you're going to choose automatically, but you're going to get Einstein's ray, and then lastly, you're going to pick up event horizon, which is going to be your supercharge. Now, this is not a definitive loadout. However, this is something that I personally utilize that I wish to share with everyone. Everyone wanted to know about this loadout here, and I'm going to, I want to pretty much tell you about that and the direction I have for this. Now, on the bottom, I consider it being a, I pretty much kind of consider it being a sideboard, if you will, for some of the powers that you can pretty much kind of play around with, with yourself there. But from left to right, I use Tachyon Burst, temporal extortion, distortion wave, event horizon, time bubble, and quantum tunneling. Now, quantum tunneling is actually an optional power to utilize. The reason for this being is because there is a lack of debuff here, so you're not going to necessarily have debuffs with this loadout. But, and I mean the biggest but you've possibly ever seen anywhere, to be honest with you. The makeup for this is the fact that I'd say that if you're not using debuffs, you're stunning, and that's what this power loadout is geared towards, stunning. So what I do, you get the stuns out the way, and you pretty much get the stuns out the way, and if I see any aggro coming towards me, I can simply go ahead and aggro dump. So that way, if the aggro come towards you, because say if the tank doesn't grab all the aggro at all, or if he or she starts to lose aggro, well, sometimes that aggro is going to start loving on you. So if you use quantum tunneling to get away from them, well, what happens is they're going to, you're pretty much dumping said aggro off to, well, who's ever just near, whichever the aggro is near. Okay, and sometimes this will actually will give the tank a chance to start pulling the aggro towards him or her, so they can start mitigating as much damage off the party as much as they can. So that for me is absolutely excellent. And for this alone, I use distortion waves simply, again, just for me to stun the enemies. Now you're going to utilize your weapon mastery here. And of course, if you do that, you give back. If you clip Tachyon Burst into distortion, if I can remember the name of it, temporal extortion. So if you was to clip Tachyon Burst into temporal extortion, you will give back big power. All right. So you give back big power there. So big burst there. So it's really good. That's why skill points is very important. The more skill points, the more ways you can actually stun. It sticks to the enemies, and I love it, and I love it a lot. And also, if you have enough skill points, you will be able to purvey power back big. All right. So for instance, right now I'm only having 190 skill points. Not bad at all. In fact, I would say that is a great achievement. But I would say for skills, you're going to want to do the following things. I chose brawling because I can access weapon mastery easy. Okay, so much easier, to be honest with you. And what you're going to do is you're going to utilize dominance. So you're going to pick up the following skills from your skill tree, which is going to be your dominance / power heal crits. And your power heal crits is going to definitely be important. Vitalization, power can definitely be a secondary thing, and most definitely power / vitalization is going to be your most important thing if you're going to go for your weapon mastery. So those are going to be your important power nodes to acquire, which is going to be dominance / power heal crits, or anything that says power heal crit. You're going to want to grab that as soon as possible, as much as you can. And then vitalization is also going to be vital to you to acquire as well. But other than that, there you have it. That is my quantum trolling. So I want to talk to you about my white mods real quick. And the white mods that I am using for this, we're going to start off with my weapon, and I'm using replenishing adapter 5. And for this, of course, it's going to require your boost. It's going to be from your tactical mods too. Please refer to my damage, my quantum damage loadout video if you wish to know how to obtain the white mods or your tactical mods for that. All right, so you're gonna pretty much pick up replenishing adapter 5, which of course your weapon attacks is going to have a chance to restore additional power. Good thing to have. And this effect may only occur once every minute. All right. Now, next up, you're going to also use for your neck piece, you're going to use escalating replenishing procs 5, and of course it's going to increase your power critical chance by 3% for every 6 seconds each time you use defibrillator, recharge, psychic empowerment, any of those, any of the powers that's from your from the controller family, such as mental, munitions, and gadgets, alongside with quantum. That will work for that. In this case, because we have quantum, that's good. So you know what I'm saying, so temporary distortion, boom, there you go. So it's going to increase your power crit chance, and of course, like I said, crits are yummy. Okay, so that is very important that you acquire crits in the game. Okay, for your back piece, violent breakout, that is something I utilize because just in case if the enemies wants to quote unquote, like I said, love on you, you're gonna want to use violent breakout. For your chest piece, enhanced recovery, blue baubles dropped by defeated enemies restore more power. So that is absolutely useful if you're down on power for some strange reason, and say if enemies do drop the blue baubles, that will definitely help you, and it will definitely help you out in a pinch when you want to restore power to your party or basically to yourself, if that's the case. For your handpiece, I use regenerative shielding as I heal myself when I'm using a normal shielding superpower. So for instance, if I am using this here, I will generate health. That's simple as that. It's not bad at all. It's actually pretty good. Finally, for the feet piece, I'm using explosives block. All right, so that's what I'm using. Now for my color mods, I am using now of course this is a thing, this is kind of a trick and advice for you guys that I would say, if you do not, now say for this, for instance, I am using 165 gear. Okay, for me personally, anybody will probably tell you different, but for me personally, if I'm using 165 gear, or if I'm using an elite gear, that I'm going to go all out with those mods. Don't use your Olympia mods on your pickup gear, or rather your basically your trash gear or your pickup gear. Don't use that. Okay, now if you're going to pick up any purple mod, your purple gear, I suggest wait until you get to CR 183. Okay, wait until you get to CR 183, and that way so that way you'll be able to acquire item level 164 gear. All right, this goes towards either your drop gear or any of the time capsule gear that you acquired. Okay, The reason why I say this is because most people, and I did this before, most people will just immediately equip the gear, the purple gear, just because that is right there, because it's there, because they just can't wait to get to the styles. Don't do it. I urge you not to do that. Okay. The green gear is very good enough alongside with the blue gear. The blue drops and the green drops are way more than enough for you to get. It's more than enough for you to actually use as you are saving your coins to acquire your 160, your item level 165 gear, especially for your for your specific role. Now for this also, I'm using beta mods, because if I was to use any of my Olympia mods on this, what happens is I have to use my like a total recovery kit or or exceptional recovery kits, and I'm not gonna get all my mods back unless I'm using my total recovery kits. This would actually save you X amount of X amounts of money, or pretty much X amount of resources for you to use to, your recovery kits. Instead, rather you can just wait by simply using your beta mods. The reason why I'm using my beta mod for my headpiece is simply because to access that yummy crit socket affinity bonus, that yummy crit power there. So that 2.5% crit power chance definitely works, and I mean, I'm telling you now, it is so useful. So I'm using Vitalization and Health Beta for my blue socket, and then of course for my back piece, I'm using Vitalization and Synthetic 6 Vitalization mod. So never mind for the fact that I'm using, it gives me 41 Vitalization. Of course, that's not necessarily going to matter until I do acquire a elaborate 165 back piece. I'm accessing that 37 Vitalization there, so that's useful. And of course, I'm using my Olympian mods on my yellow gear, so I'm using my Vitalization of Might. That's of course just to add a little bit of damage to when I am actually stunning my enemies there. So yeah, it's useful for the health, for your crits, and of course for your critical power magnitude. All right, that's going to be some multiplication, there that I'm not going to go into. So that's going to be some multiplication in division. I'm gonna let you guys do it. So so with that being said, I'm only using synthetic mods and my power bait and my betas just to unlock the socket affinity bonuses on some of my trash gear or some of my pickup gear. Say for this Guardian Fighter, stuff like that. So not too bad at all. But again, I'm only using those as placeholders just for me, just until I acquire my Fallen God gear or my item level 165 gear. But there you have it, guys. That is my my tutorial on white mods, and of course my suggestions on using your purple drops and of course your mods there. But this will wrap up the edition of my how-to DCUO guide, my quantum trolling guide here. So thank you guys for watching, and this portion of this guide has brought to you by Team MC. Don't compete with other streamers, compete with yourself. Check out the link below on how you can become a part of Team MC. Thank you guys for watching, and of course, one last thing, be sure to check out daybreaksgames.com or go head over to DCUniverseonline.com if you wish to download this game on the PC, or if you're on Steam, you can go ahead and check that out as well. If you are from the PlayStation 3 or the PlayStation 4, be sure to go over to the PlayStation Store to download this game. And of course, if you're from the Xbox One, just go to your respective store on the on the network there, and you can download the game as well. But once again, thank you guys for watching. By His grace, be blessed. Sho'Nuff.